So the new Iowa SUDAS 2025 edition structures and pipes catalog provided by IMAGINiT Technologies. These are actually created in Inventor, published to Infrastructure Parts Editor, and then published to Civil 3D. And because of that, they actually have pipe connection points. So for example, whenever I start the pipe layout tool, you'll notice that there are connection points all around here that actually show up. Once I click on here, as I'm laying this out, I actually have a couple options. Here on the toolbar, I can use the insertion point, and in most cases this is going to be at the center of the structure. In the case of curb inlets, those are actually at the back of curb. I also have the ability to override that insertion point and use the default connection point. In the case of the curb inlets where they are at the back of curb, this will then change it to the center of the structure. And I also have the ability to set it to the closest connection point. And as you can see, whenever I switch it to that, it's actually going to change to the closest connection point that you see here as I hover over it. And then once I draw this out, you can see that's just going to go ahead and allow me to lay these out and ensure that the pipe connection is actually at those points. As you can see, it's not going to the center of the structure here. And I also have the ability to override this after the fact. So if I select the structure and come up here to the contextual tab here on the modify panel, I can actually change this back to the default connection point or the structure insertion point. So if I wanted to, I can go ahead and choose that, and now you can see each of these pipes that are connected to the structure are now set to that default connection point. We also have multiple move and rotation grips as well. So over here, this is a curb inlet pipe. You can see that these pipes are actually connected to that closest connection point. And one more thing I want to add to that, if you just hover over the connection point that you want to connect it to, that is also another valid way to update those connection points. All right, but in the case of the grips here, as you can see, we have the insertion point here at the back of the curb. It's going to allow me to move it from there, and we also have a rotation point there as well. So as you lay this out and apply this to the back of curb line, you now have the ability to rotate that so that it is in line with that back of curb. You also have the added ability here to move it based off the center of the structure and again rotate it about that location as well. All right, so this is going to give you some multiple workflow options. And keep in mind, not all structures have this. Mainly the any structure that has the insertion point that is not centered, such as the elliptical or eccentric structures and curb inlets that you see here. Those are going to be the typical ones that have multiple move and rotation points. In addition to the pipe connection points and move and rotation points, we also have the features now where we can actually go into the structure properties, and you'll notice that depending on what type of structure it is, that will show up. And also the diameters and other dimensions are accurate to the SUDAS specifications. So if you want to export this to storm and sanitary analysis, that is now possible to give you some comprehensive calculations from that application. If you use other applications for water analysis, this should also be compatible there. I can only speak to the storm and sanitary analysis. For the Iowa SUDAS 2025 edition structures and pipes catalog, you'll now see that we have all of the pipes and all of the sizes available to you. These have been broken down by prefixes, so any sanitary, we have the SAN prefix. For any storm, we have the ST. And these have all of the sizes that are listed in the SUDAS specifications. When it comes to structures, way down here at the bottom, you can see that we now have aprons. We have circular, aprons, arch, elliptical, all type 1 and type 2. And we also have the metal pipe aprons here as well. For arched and elliptical pipe aprons, you'll notice that we have the diameter equivalent, and these values are actually a part of the part properties. All right, so for example, if I were to select one of these aprons and go into the structure properties and scroll down to the bottom here, you'll notice that we have the equivalent diameter. You'll also notice that this is available here on the pipes as well. I'll go into the pipe properties. You can see these also have the pipe standards, pipe class if used, and also the material abbreviation and the equivalent diameter. These values can actually be used in label creation. So in the case of the pipes, as you can see here, when we come into the text component editor, you'll have those available to you right here for the pipe standards, pipe class, material abbreviation, and equivalent diameter. And that is the same for the structures as well. All right, so a couple small updates that I want to mention here. What you're seeing right now, this is actually a legacy SUDAS catalog provided by IMAGINiT Technologies. As you can see here, depending on the base size, if we're dealing with two different base sizes, those actually constituted a different part family. And this is actually the way Autodesk parts work as well. So if you made a pipe list from any of the out-of-the-box catalogs that are dealing with two-tiered structures especially, you'll see that this is the way they have done it there. So that's actually how these were created. In the new version for the SUDAS 2025 edition, new modeling techniques actually allows us to consolidate those parts. So now for the clean out, you'll see one part family for those, as well as all the others. The only ones that you will see that are kind of the same part family, but split into two, are things such as a left and right extension. So for SW542, the extension on the left will be one part family, the extension on the right will be another part family. Now, this new modeling technique that allows us to consolidate the parts list also allows for a lightweight installation as well. This legacy catalog here was actually roughly around 275 megabytes, whereas this new 2025 edition catalog is roughly 75 megabytes. So that is a drastic drop in installation size. So that is something I'm happy to report. So as mentioned before, the new SUDAS 2025 edition structures and pipes catalog is now compatible with the storm and sanitary analysis. Right? So if you're doing water calculations using that application, these are now compatible with that. So again, if they are a curb inlet, for example, and you go into the structure properties, you will now see that those are defined as that type. Whether it's a combination, inlet, manhole, or other, you'll see that there, as well as the dimensioning is accurate. All right, so these models are fully realized. As you can see here, if I look in the object viewer, they are accurate to the SUDAS specifications. So whenever you do export these into the sanitary and sewer analysis application, you're going to get accurate results. All right, in addition to that, if you are using a legacy SUDAS catalog, as you can see here, they do work well together. The only thing that you'll need to be aware of is changing the catalog. All right, so if I need to swap this out with a legacy part or vice versa, I'm going to need to come up here to the Create Design panel, set the pipe network catalog. So if I wanted to swap these out to a legacy part, for example, I would need to switch that catalog to that. And then from there, I can then switch the parts list here in the toolbar. Right, once I do so, I can then come over here to the part that I want to swap out, right click, and then swap that part. And now, as you can see, they are no longer consolidated. I can go ahead and choose the structure that I'm after, click OK, and that will go ahead and swap. So you do have the ability to work with legacy SUDAS catalogs as well as the new 2025 edition. All right, now all these parts from the 2025 edition catalog, these are going to be available for Civil 3D 2023 all the way through Civil 3D 2026.